The Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers Podcast. I'm Joel Osborne. This is my good basketball bud, Sam Hardy.
Well, what are you going to say? You were going to say brother, weren't you? And then you decided, we're not that close. we're all right.
I was like, cross between saying like good and great. So I was like, good.
So
good
I'm not quite hit great, but just a bit above good. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
But thanks, mate. I don't like you at all. So
cheers, mate. Hate you too. Thanks for joining us this week on all major podcast providers and YouTube. We've got producer Dizzle over there. Producer Dan, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Once again.
How do we feel about producer Dizzle?
I feel fine about it. I think people might have thrown up hearing that for the first time, but I feel fine about it.
I think you're more producer Drizzle.
Thanks.
I mean,
Drizzle from Brizzle.
Yeah.
Producer Drizzle. It is drizzle right now. It's starting to rain at the moment.
Grim, isn't it? Not happy about that.
Winter's here, folks. The clocks have gone back.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, back to our dark evenings. So hopefully the podcast is something that brightens up your day a little bit.
Oh, that's cute, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite cute. Lots happened since our last episode. A couple of games to talk about this week. Got another studio guest coming on the show. As Zach Anderson joins us in-house. We're recording this bit after we've recorded the interview. I thought this was a great episode.
I personally also thought this was a great episode.
Just not the fact that he's standing over there still while we record the intro.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible.
I thought this was an awful episode. You should not listen to it. No, it's a great chat. We have Zach on the show. We talk all things about how he's settling into life in Bristol. We also talk about the team chemistry. We talk about a couple of games, including the big road trip to Croatia in front of those crazy 600 fans atmosphere in Croatia. We talk about that on the podcast as well.
Well, I personally think our fans need to become crazier, Joel. We need more European vibe within SGS, I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I like the family feel at SGS, but
Same.
A little drumming section would be quite nice.
Yeah, I'd love it. A little horn section.
Portishead Ultras, I think, should be responsible for this. Have you seen the flag at SGS?
You know he went out to Croatia himself.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's got the full inspiration
There
then.
you go.
Bring it back. We want to see a drum at the next game, and I want to see this constantly throughout the game. You know, that's like constant, like European basketball. They have that constant, like, drum beat throughout the whole game.
That was so good of you to show what someone who's never played drums before would look like playing
but
the drums.
it's like the way the Europeans play it is like, it's not just banging the drum, is it? It's like
a rhythm.
It's like doing it in that rhythm anyway.
Yeah.
Any housekeeping to get through before we get to the show?
Yeah, I don't think.
I've got some housekeeping.
Oh.
We forgot to do it before on the actual show. So we have to give a massive shout out to Zach's player sponsor, Stan Salvage and the HTP Group. Sorry, Stan, I forgot to do it in the episode. But here's your big shout out.
You've got to make up an advert for them right now.
HTP pools and hot tubs, go get them. Actually, did a great piece actually last season with HTP, didn't we?
Yeah, they were doing dunks from the side of the pool.
It was like a
weren't
dunk contest in the pool. Yeah, go check it out from last year. It was a good bit of content that. On a tangent there, but back to track. It's time for us to get to this week's episode with none other than Zach Anderson.
You're listening to the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Welcome back to the Bristol Flyers Podcast, where we are very pleased to be joined by our rookie forward, who's taken the SLB and the ENBL by storm. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Zach Anderson. Zach, welcome to the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, you are more than welcome to be here. You are our third player. Well, actually, technically, you're our fourth player coming in because we had a little cameo from Will Yoakum, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Does that not count? No?
That is not. I mean, he was here, but we need to get him on for a full episode. But yeah, we're excited to have you, my man. How are we doing?
I'm feeling great. Excited to be here.
Mate, we appreciate you spending time out your busy schedule to come join us because it is a busy schedule, especially through November now. Games really start to pick up for the team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been different. Because one week we'll have one game a week, and then next week we'll have 3 games a week. So it's different balancing them, but yeah, it's been fun.
And traveling to Europe as well.
Yeah, this is my first time out of the country was coming to the UK. So now experiencing all these different places, it's definitely a blast. I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna knock then, including Scotland. You're gonna knock at least 6 countries off your list coming out of America.
You're just getting our passport stamped up now, right? Making a little collection of stamps in there, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, have you ever done anything like this before? Because we think we were speaking off air. I think you said you did like a podcast podcast, perhaps when you were in college, through like Zoom or something?
I've done one my freshman year going into FGCU. But honestly, no, I've never really done a podcast before. This is honestly my first time.
Well, sit back and relax because we've got you here for the next hour or so. Let's talk about your time in Bristol so far. Obviously, you mentioned first time for you out of the country.
Yeah.
How are you finding it? Are you enjoying yourself so far?
I'm actually loving it. It's kind of similar to the States. So that's kind of like an easy transition. The people here are nice. Everybody speaks English, so I didn't have to learn a different language, like the stories that I've heard about other players. So, yeah, honestly, it's been like a smooth transition.
Well, have you found some of your college teammates have gone off to weird and wonderful countries in Europe, have they?
Yeah. I have trouble reading like the stat boards and stuff when I'm looking on Instagram. So I'm just glad I don't have those issues. Everybody speaks English. The posts are in English. I don't have to translate it. So everything's kind of it's smooth.
Yeah. Surely there's some words that we say that you have no idea what we're saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've run into some people where I'm like, all right, you're not speaking English. You're speaking something totally different. But no, for the most part, it's pretty easy.
You're becoming one of the mandem now, mate. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah.
You picked up all the British slang, is that right? I love it. Well, we appreciate you coming down. Has it been everything you expected so far, your time in Bristol? Because, a lot of players, when we speak to rookies on the show before, they talk about the language barrier and it not being an issue like some of the other former teammates have been. But, has everything else been as you've expected in your time in Bristol so far? What were you expecting coming in, and how much has it met those expectations?
Yeah, honestly, it has met my expectations. I kind of like what you said, like the language barrier made it really, really easy for me to kind of like transition over. And the one thing I do hate is the weather, man. The weather is horrible. Coming from Florida, man, the weather is terrible, bro.
Man.
Like, it's always wet, cold. It's not a good vibe, man. Yeah. But other than that, no, everything's been great. It's been a good transition.
I went out to Florida a couple of years ago, and you always, it's in the summer, so it was like right in the middle of
Great
hurricane
time.
season, but you always get that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock shower for about an hour, don't you? And then it just stops.
And then sometimes it rains and it's sunny outside, so it's like you can never tell with Florida, but it's definitely not this.
Have you ever had any run-ins with any crocodiles in Florida?
Absolutely. It's like any lake of water or any body of water that you see, it's probably an alligator.
Wow. Yeah, you definitely don't get that over here. I think the most you get out of here is maybe a fox or a deer.
Yeah.
Pretty dangerous.
Yeah, pretty dangerous, I have to say.
Stray cat or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You had a chance to get out and explore Bristol much yet?
I went to downtown Bristol. I've been to a couple shopping centers, a couple malls, but honestly, no, I've just been focused on basketball, focused on recovering. And yeah, just not much, honestly.
I know McCormack's got all of you guys down here to Ashton Gate to watch Bristol City a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's fully bought into the British culture, Owen, isn't he?
He is, and he goes crazy at the game. So it's definitely a pleasure to be around. But yeah, no, definitely my first football game. Well, I almost called it soccer. I forgot. You guys get mad at me when I called it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first football game down here, it was honestly a blast. And I told Owen the first time that we were here, like, anytime that you come to one of these games, I'm right behind you, bro. Because it's honestly so fun just being able to support a team. Because you don't really have that in the States. So
what we're saying, the nearest thing you get to that kind of atmosphere is probably college football, American football.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I haven't even had a college football team when I was in college. Like Florida Gulf Coast, I was at Florida Gulf Coast University, no football team. I was at George Mason for my last year, no football team.
Wow.
So I've never really actually been able to experience a college football game when I was in college. Like I went to one in high school, but other than that, no.
So at your colleges, then, you were the heroes. The basketball team was the one, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I think that was kind of helped me my decision a little bit.
Yeah. Well, those European crowds are something else, really, aren't they? I mean, you look at
crazy.
Bristol City and Section 82. And you guys were down here for the 1-0 win against Birmingham City, wasn't you? And you guys were in the box as well.
Yeah. No, it was a great experience. It's something that I've never, ever thought I would picture myself doing, but no, it definitely was a great experience. The crowd is so electric. Like, it's something that I've never been around, so it's fun.
I have to get you on rugby next. You've been to watch a rugby game before?
No, I've never been to a rugby game, and I heard they're crazy down here, so I definitely want to go to one.
Oh, yeah. It gets very noisy down here.
It's weird because you guys are used to, I think the hits in American football some of them are worse, right? Because they hit them so hard and there's different rules around it, but the guys without pads and then just go hard at each other is crazy, man.
Crazy.
You have to.
Yeah, it is pretty savage. Are there any other places that you've been to in Bristol? You mentioned a couple of malls. What about like food spots or anything like that? You had a chance to get out and eat places out
I
in
wouldn't
Bristol?
know specific names, but I have tried fishing. I'm not a big fish person.
Yeah.
Fish and chips, top tier. That's
You have to
amazing,
try it when
bro.
you're in the
It's
UK.
amazing,
Where did you get
bro.
it from? Do you know?
I wouldn't be able to tell you the specific name, but Owen actually took me, so it was amazing, bro.
Yeah,
and that was probably the best food that I've had out here that I don't eat in the States as much. So
I guess it helps when you've got someone like Owen. I mean, it's only Owen's second year with the team, and he's fully bought into it, and now has learned where all the good places to go. He's almost been like a bit of a tour guide or a bit of a, giving you like recommendations on places to go, right?
Honestly, it feels like he's been here for 5 years, the way he knows his way around the city and stuff. And he's funny to be around. He has his UK accent and he has all these different things. So no, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Does he put on a UK accent when he's asking for things?
It's great, bro. He has the best UK accent ever. It's so funny. Him and P's, he's not from here, but he has a UK accent as well. But man, their accents are hilarious. Bro.
Yeah. Can you give us your best British accent or not?
I don't know if I can do that. We're trying to be disrespectful if I tried to do that.
No, okay. We'll leave it at that. That's all good. But you've had a chance to speak to some of the fans as well. I mean, imagine that must be quite rewarding for you to be able to speak to the fans. Because like you say, if you're playing elsewhere in Europe, you don't really get the opportunity to communicate with the fans and them to show how much they love watching you guys play. But and also being able to chat to them after the games, take photos with them after the games. That must be really rewarding for you.
No, it definitely is. They come with criticism as well, but and they know their X and O's and they know what plays we should be running. But no, it's definitely fun to be able to chat with the fans. They're great. Every single home game that we've had so far, the support has been amazing. Like almost sold out. Everybody's standing up. So yeah, I can't thank the fans enough for the support that we've been getting throughout the season.
Well, let's shift focus to life on the court. How does it feel for you? Because obviously this year is your first professional deal. Yeah. How does it feel for you to basically say now that you are a professional basketball player? Because that's like everyone's dream as a kid, to be able to get paid to do the sport you love, right?
Absolutely. It definitely was a dream of mine to be a professional basketball player and to be able to come to a spot that's so welcoming and like I just mentioned, like the fans are so like behind us. It's really, really, really rewarding to have a fan base like this, to have coaches who believe in you, to have players that come from similar situations, because most of our players come from like a college or came from like certain situations that I've been in. So to be able to connect with my teammates, there's no language barriers to not have that connection with my teammates. It's definitely like rewarding and fun.
And what about this group of players that coaches put together? Because we've seen it, we spoke to a couple of the guys on the podcast already. The chemistry levels so early in the season are extremely high, and that's translated onto the court. But what's this group of players like to be around every single day?
Oh, they're hilarious. This might be one of the funniest groups, including college, high school, that I've ever been around. Like, these group of guys are hilarious. It's something new every single day from a different player. It's not even just one person being funny. Of course, you have your Owen McCormack being dumb every day, but other than that, like, everybody chimes in. Everybody's always vocal. Everybody's talking. There's no one person that's just like off to the side, not with us. So it's a great group of guys, and I'm happy to be here.
Who do you think you've sort of connected with the most on the team so far?
I would say Owen and Joe, just because I knew them before we got down here. They were in the same conference as me. Like, I was at Florida Gulf Coast, and they were at Lipscomb.
Wow,
both in the ASUN. So we had played against each other once. So I knew of them before I came down here, and me and Joe were texting a little bit before, like, I actually came down here. So I had a connection with them before I got down here. So I would say probably Owen and Joe.
Big question. Who won that game?
The Lipscomb boys.
Lipscomb boys, definitely, they got one. But to be fair, it wasn't them. It was one of their teammates who just went absolutely bonkers and had a career night.
Wow.
But it wasn't Owen and Joe, so I'll never let them hold that over my head, because it wasn't them that beat me.
but that is wild, though, isn't it? Yeah. The fact that you guys have played against each other in college.
Crazy.
And back then, you would have no idea that, 2-3 years down the line, you'd be on the same team together, both rookies, you and Joe, on the same team together, playing professionally in the UK.
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy to think about, because when you're playing, you play so many people in college. Like, you have a different game every week, and you're never playing the same team unless you're in conference play. So to the fact that we only literally played each other one time, and it's just like we're on the same team, it's honestly surreal.
Do you actually, like, if you think back to that game, you can remember both those guys playing?
Yeah, no, I do. Because Joe's a starting point guard, O was a starting five, so it was just like, when we go through scout, like, you kind of know who's on each team, especially like with our conference. Our conference wasn't like the greatest, so it was just like the top teams or like the mid-pack teams. You kind of remember those names and faces. So when I was joining this team and I knew that they were a part, I was like, oh, I know them like immediately. It clicked. So it wasn't really like, oh, they didn't play or I didn't know much of them. Like, no, I actually knew them a lot, like quite well.
Nice. And there must be other guys that you perhaps would have played against in college that are now on opposite teams to you, right? Are there any other guys that perhaps you would have played against during your college career that now you're playing against in SLB or in the ENBL?
One wasn't. He was hurt the first game that we played. His name was Mervyn James. I knew him. Yeah. He's a great player. Great player.
He played in our league last year for Surrey and then moved to Sheffield in the summer. Yeah.
He played with I believe it was North Alabama, which is also in the ASUN, and I played against him like 2 or 3 times. And after the game, like we would end up like linking, talking to each other, and just picking each other's brains about basketball and stuff. And so I knew him. And that's really the only one that I think that I've known so far since playing.
Yeah, well, that must be really helpful for like team chemistry. The fact that you know guys going into the situation you're going into before you even get there.
Yeah.
And then you guys just seem to be clicking straight away as soon as you do arrive. And it's showing on the court. I mean, at the time of recording, we are 4-2 in the SLB, 2-1 in the ENBL. And you've had to make that adjustment to playing overseas and now this season. Just talk us through some of the main differences that you've noticed, perhaps from playing in college to what we're playing on the SLB, the style of basketball or the physicality or the speed of the game. And also, how does that different from maybe the SLB and maybe what we're playing in Europe now in the ENBL as well?
Yeah, I would say definitely the pace and the physicality is different. There's a lot of stuff that they let you get away with, the referees, than what will happen in college. A lot of physicality, a lot of bumping off balls that usually like gets called a foul, but now it's not. So it definitely was an adjustment, but I feel like I'm adjusted now the first couple of games. And then the difference between ENBL and SLB, it literally feels like I'm playing a complete different game. It's crazy to think about, like the traveling. I don't know if you guys noticed, but man, we get called so much.
Oh, yeah. There's 9 travels in that first game.
Yeah, but it's gotten better. When we were in Croatia, it wasn't as bad. You can literally see guys like purposely slowing down.
Cam Holden in particular, he'll do that. He does that really slow pump fake, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it works. Yeah, that's the thing.
Even though on the scouting report, it's not saying Cam Holden is a shooter. Although saying that, he did hit 2 back-to-back threes in Caledonia, by the way. And he gets that slow pump fake and then the ridiculous dribble before he even lifts his back pivot foot now.
Yeah, but I even saw him do that in one of the games. I think it was a Croatia one where he literally did everything to make sure he didn't travel, and they still called him for the travel. And I went, what are you doing? That was not a travel.
I heard that we give the refs scouts too, so like they watch previous games. So like going into the games, they know about like him having 5 travels or me having 2 travels. So it's like they're looking for it. So maybe there's times where it might not have been a travel where they still call it, but it's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss the trip to Croatia later on in the show because there's so much to unpack from that trip to Croatia.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with some of the other games, perhaps the donor game or the first ENBL game that we had out in Austria, have you had any favorite moments from either SLB or ENBL so far on the court? Favorite wins, perhaps?
Honestly, the first win, it just felt like we beat them as a team. Like everybody was having fun. We were up 15 at half. Like it was a great team win. And honestly, like when everybody's scoring, you have multiple guys in double digits. Everybody's touching the ball. Everybody's happy, smiling, and you're just having fun out there. Those are honestly like the best games to be a part of. So.
You did have that naughty crossover step back 3 as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was nice. You know the one?
Yeah.
You had one. You actually had one on Friday as well.
Yeah, that might have been one of my favorite moves. I love doing that.
Yeah. That's great. It's great. Well, obviously, it's the busy schedule coming up now in November. And you've had a fair busy schedule so far, but the games really pick up now in November. I mean, I think we've got like one week where we have 3 games in a week now. Yeah. How do you prepare yourself going into this next section of the season? Because, like I say, it's going to really pick up over the next few weeks or so.
Yeah, honestly, it's just managing your body, doing the extra things, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's stretching, foam rolling on your own, getting with the trainers. We have great trainers, by the way. Shout out Dom and Max. But, honestly, just managing our bodies, doing what we need to do off the court, and then attacking practice would probably be the best way to prepare ourselves. We've been having some spells where it's just like, we're great one practice, and then the next day, it won't be bad, but it just wouldn't be up to the expectations that we have for ourselves. So just stacking those good days over and over and over are definitely the best ways to lead to victories in both leagues.
We had a spell last season where we had 12 games in 27 days.
Wow.
And that was a combination of us progressing in the cup and the trophy competition, so more games being stacked at the back end of the season, and some game postponements as well that made it all happen in April. Do you remember that? It was wild. It was wild. We're literally having a game every other day, and I don't think it's as bad as that this season. But yeah, super important. I mean, especially with some ENBL games coming out, we've got some big games. Like you look at the Centenix game coming up. They're currently top of the German Bundesliga, and they're coming to SGS next month.
That is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, they're like 5-0 in the Bundesliga right now, which is huge. One of the top 5 leagues in Europe. So that'll be a super exciting game. Have you got that game circled in your calendar?
Absolutely. I don't want to talk about games being circled, but
well, we learned that lesson from Cam the other week on the podcast, I think. But yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zach, we've got a section of the podcast we like to do called Run It Back. And particularly when we have guests that have been on the show for the first time, and we want fans to learn more about their basketball history, their journey through basketball. And you were born in Apopka, Florida.
Yeah.
Is that, have I pronounced that correctly?
Apopka, yeah, you were close enough. Yeah.
What was it like growing up out there?
It was great, honestly. It's a small city, very calm, very relaxed. I went to Apopka Elementary, Apopka Middle, and Apopka High School. So I've been Blue Darter my whole life, which is our mascot. But yeah, no, it was a great experience growing up. I grew up with 2 sisters, 2 brothers. I grew up with one of both in the household. But yeah, no, I'm the youngest of all.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was a great experience. Really supportive family behind me. They really travel with me, everything I do. My dad, literally up until college, never missed one single game that I played, which is
away as well.
Literally one single game up until college. Like even away high school games, AAU games, no matter if we traveled, he was taking me there. Like I have a really good support system behind me, and that's kind of the way. Well, that's who I am today. Like it's who I am today. So I'm thankful for them.
How far would you have to travel in a high school game?
Not too far, but there would be like tournaments where it might be like we had a tournament in Texas one time, or like we had like we'll travel to FGCU or we'll travel to Florida, like we'll have team camps and different things like that. So we went to Puerto Rico one time on a missions trip.
Wow.
So it was just like I have a really good support system behind me, and I'm super blessed and thankful.
Yeah. So were you part of a basketball family? Do your sisters play? Did your dad play?
Yeah, my sister tried. So we'll just leave it at that. But my dad played basketball in the Army, and then my brother played basketball in high school, but he stopped after high school. So
yeah, I bet they're all watching all the games on DAZN and YouTube this season, right?
Absolutely. They're too excited. They text me after every game. You know, the time difference is a little weird. They're watching games at 2, 3 o'clock now, which is different.
And then it'd be working.
Yeah. My sister's at work sending me clips. Like I can see The Office in the background and stuff.
Hey, it's a great way to watch basketball when you're doing work. Just procrastinating. It's all good.
Do you think any of them are going to make the trip over here at some point?
Yeah, for sure. I was just talking to my dad the other day about it. We're just kind of looking at dates right now, which would be like the best time, the best games for them to come, because they want to obviously come to games when they come. They just don't want to come for a trip. So we're thinking about we're just trying to plan it out right now.
Was it always basketball for you, or did you play any other sports growing up as a kid?
Fortunately, my mom would not let me play football, which is the other sport that I tried to play. She was just too scared, and she cut that off as soon as that thought started. So, no, it's always been basketball for me. I grew up around a basketball family, like I just mentioned. That's really all we knew. So, yeah, that's basically all it's been.
Well, you started your college career at Florida Gulf Coast. You spent the first 4 years of your college career there. Yeah. How'd you look back on that experience?
Great experience, great time. I've learned so much. I'm thankful to every single coach that I've had, because each of them taught me different things in different part of my lives. So, it was a great experience, especially being close to home. I'm only 3 hours away from Orlando, which is where I'm from. So it was great to have my family still come to almost every single home game and travel with us. And, it was a great experience.
So are you a Magic fan, are you?
I am not. My dad is a Magic fan. I am a LeBron fan. So wherever LeBron goes, that's who I'm supporting.
He's one of those guys.
But Magic, they could do something soon, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I would never support the Magic. If the Magic would make a run, I'll be like, yeah, go Magic. But it's
LeBron
not like
moved to the Magic.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm a great Magic.
LeBron, 48 years old, playing for the Magic.
Unfortunately, I think that's not going to happen.
Well, you never know. You never know. Obviously, you had those. You played over 110 games between 2020 and 2024, Florida Gulf Coast. So would you have been playing part of the pandemic? Is that the first season?
That was literally the first season that I played in. I had to wear a mask over my face midway through the season, like during games.
Wow.
Which was
During
insane.
games?
Literally.
Not on the bench, like on the court?
No, on the court. We were on the court with masks on our face. Like guys are pulling it down because they can't breathe. And it was honestly insane. Getting tested every other day, sticking a thing up your nose. Like it was insane.
You see those guys that wear those things to help their lungs get better by wearing a mask. Maybe you got fitter by wearing a mask.
I guess if you want to take a positive out of COVID, then I guess that's the one that we can take.
That was a wild time, wasn't it? COVID. Like I remember us doing like twice a week testing and then like playing games. Imagine SGS, right?
Yeah.
But imagine that with no fans in there.
Yeah, that's
and us
crazy.
just streaming games online.
Yeah,
and we used to like on commentary, like the players could hear us doing the broadcast, sat courtside, and it was like, I'm like, so and so's at the line, they're like 60% from the line this season. They look over and they're like, I'm not 60%. You know what I mean? Like that was a wild time.
There was a guy,
hilarious.
I don't know if you remember, maybe you don't, because he played with LeBron. There's a guy called Liggins.
DeAndre Liggins.
He played with LeBron at probably. Was it at Cavs? I think it was.
Yeah, it was at Cleveland. Yeah.
And we remember that year he came and played in the SGS gym, which is when there's no fans in there. It's like a tiny little. Your high school gym was probably bigger than it, wasn't it? And we got this clip of him like the season or maybe a couple of seasons before stood with LeBron playing, and then him on his own in the middle of SGS.
That's hilarious.
Where it started, where it's ended. You know?
Yeah, that was wild. That whole period was wild. I never will want to go back to doing that again.
It was insane. We would have like even individual workouts. Like we couldn't even work out as a team on certain days. Like we would have to come in and just work out with one coach, one basketball, and have to sanitize it. It was just crazy. It was insane.
So you spent 4 years at Florida Gulf Coast, and then the opportunity comes about for you to join George Mason.
Yeah.
Tell us how that came about.
Honestly, going into my last year of college, because we got an extra year because of COVID. Going into my last year, it was kind of it felt like it was just time for me to move on. Not saying that FGCU couldn't teach me anything else, but I just felt like I did my time there, and it was a great time. I had great experiences, great coaches, met a lot of people, but I just felt like I wanted something a little bit more for myself, and I wanted better competition on a day-to-day basis, and I felt like I can get that at George Mason. And it was another great year. I think we won 27 games, which is very, very hard to do in college. I don't know how we didn't make the tournament, which is insane. Didn't make March Madness.
Wait, you won 27 games and didn't make March Madness?
27 games, made it to the championship game of our conference tournament and lost by 2 points, 3 points.
Because that's how it works, isn't it? Like within conference play, you finish top of your standings in the conference, but you've got to. It's only the team that wins the tournament that makes the March Madness, right?
But then there's selection Sundays, so certain teams that didn't win their conference tournament that are still like good and they think that they can compete. The committee thinks they can make a run in the tournament. They would let them be in. So it was just like certain teams like North Carolina who did horrible that year made it in just because they were North Carolina.
That's so
it was
annoying.
it was tough because we were the last team to play like the last conference tournament. So right after our tournament ended, we were all on the bus after we played, looking at like selection Sunday, like, yo, please, can they select us? Like, can we get in? And then they were just calling another name. We'd be like, okay, we didn't get in. Call another name. And we're like, all right. And then it got down to the last pick, and they were like, North Carolina. And we're like, what? Like,
wow.
But no, it was insane.
That must be a horrible way for you to learn that your season's basically ending, right?
Yeah, literally. I mean, fortunately enough, we were good enough to play in the NIT, which is another
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we played in the NIT. We won 2 games in it, I believe. But, yeah, no, it sucks because everybody wants to make March Madness. You know, that's where the notoriety is, and that's where everybody looks at that time of year. March Madness is probably one of the most popular things in sports nowadays. So, yeah, no, you definitely want to make it. And I haven't made it personally out of my whole 5 years in college, and that was probably the closest that I've been. So, yeah, not getting selected that Sunday kind of sucked. But
you had one of the best defenses in the country that season as well.
No, it was insane. Like, that was probably the best defensive team that I've ever been around. It just, everybody felt so connected. And then shout out Jared Billups. I know he might watch this. Shout out Jared Billups. He was a DPOY at A10. Man, that was probably the best defender that I've ever been around in my life. Like, he challenged guys every day in practice, picking up full court. Anybody who was the best person on the other team when we were scouting, we just knew that we had an answer for it because we weren't worried at all because we had Jared Billups. So, yeah, no, we had a great defensive team. Everybody was connected. Our coaches trusted us. They switched up defenses every single game, adjusting to different teams. It was a great time.
Jared, related to Chauncey or not?
No, he's definitely not.
Well, I mean, you must have learned a lot there, because now on the Flyers, you are one of our defensive linchpins, and that the coach often gets you guarding the opposition's best player. Yeah. Talk us through some of the stuff you learned from George Mason, how you've been able to translate that to Flyers, particularly on the defensive end of the court.
Yeah, basically, I would just say guarding one-on-one. That's something that our coach harped on a lot. Like, if you can't guard one-on-one, you can't play for us. So everybody really took that to offense in practice, and you've seen guys really just going at each other, trying their hardest to guard one-on-one. And I would say that we had a really, really, really good offensive team as well. So it was just like every day in practice, you're guarding a dude that can be in the SEC, that can be in one of the top divisions in college. So we were really just competing at a high level every single day in practice, and that kind of just helped me transfer over to overseas basketball. And it's kind of just, it was easy.
So fast forward now to this past summer, and you just finished your last season at George Mason. Talk us through the process then. So obviously you get an agent, and you get all these jobs thrown at you and offers that come on the table, and Bristol come calling. What was it about Flyers in particular, and that offer that came through from Coach Kapoulis, that made you think, yes, this is the way I want to see my pro career starting?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of players. I forgot his name. He came from Kennesaw. He was here last year.
Damon Robinson.
I played against him as well. So it was just like, I seen familiar guys like Owen. I seen familiar guys come through here, and I'm like, wow, like, it seems like they really have something good going, and it seems like a good spot, especially for me coming out of college, not wanting to learn another language, not wanting to deal with those different things. It seemed like a real seamless thing. Like, it wasn't that hard. And the way that my agent was pitching it to me, like, he was saying, like, they have a good spot for you, a good role for you. Like, of course, nothing is given. And Coach made that obvious, which I'm appreciative of. And when I look at that, I'm like, all right, he's not giving me any spot. He's not giving me, like, saying you're going to start. Like, he wasn't telling me any of these things. So it's just like, all right, I respect that, like, and that was one of the main factors of me coming here too as well.
Yeah, that's huge, and I think Coach is very honest when he speaks to players as well. And I think a lot of the conversations I had with players in the past, they appreciate that honesty. Absolutely. And like you say, nothing is given, but there is a good opportunity, and if you work hard, you'll get your minutes. And we've got a proven track record of players. Some players stay around for multiple years, which is great, and fans love to see players stay in Bristol. Yeah. But also, we've got a track record of players going on to huge leagues in Europe. I mean, you look at players like VJ King, and you look at players even like Dean Williams, who obviously was at the Flyers Academy, and then now is playing London Lions, but went on to win a Champions League, for example. So, like, there's Eric Lockett. The names can keep coming. There's loads of players that have gone on to have great careers, and there's loads of players that have stuck around and had great careers with the Flyers. And that's what I think is so good about it, is that, whichever direction you choose to go in your career, Flyers has an opportunity for you to propel and to move on to that next step. It must be quite overwhelming for you, I guess, when you get all these offers coming in, and you must have had quite a few on the table looking at that. Like, how many did you have, like, offers on the table?
Yeah, it was possible. It was probably like a good 4 or 5 that I was thinking of, but this one just stuck out the most, honestly, because of the players that, like you just mentioned, the players that I've seen go to bigger leagues and the players that have come through this, like, program. It was kind of easy to make this decision.
Talk us through that first conversation with Coach Kapoulis then. Where were you when you found out that interest was there, and that very first phone call that you have with him, and him selling you the idea of joining Flyers?
Yeah, it was literally the first call that I've had with a coach. Like, this was the first team that my agent threw at me. My agent was really, really high on this team. Like, he was like, yeah, I really like this fit for you. I like their style of basketball. It's a good league to start out in. And it kind of reminded me of, like, college, because, like, when I entered the transfer portal my last year, that's literally what it is. It's just like a bunch of different coaches calling you, and they're throwing numbers around, and they're saying, oh, yeah, I have all of this for you. But, like, when you really listen to a coach and what he says, you really value, like, the specific things. So when he was mentioning, like, yeah, I'm not guaranteeing you a starting spot. I'm not guaranteeing you how many minutes you're going to play. You're going to have to come in and earn it. Like, that was really something that stuck out to me. And yeah, that made that decision way easier.
I love that. Now here you are. You're thriving in both
absolutely.
SLB and ENBL. It's amazing to see. Zach, before we get into our next section of the podcast, I just want to shift gears a little bit and talk about Black History Month, because in October in the UK is Black History Month here in the UK, and it's a time for us to try to keep the conversation moving forward. And as a player and as a role model, you are to our Bristol community. When I talk about Black History Month, what does that mean to you when we talk about Black history?
Honestly, my dad kind of raised me to be independent and to just focus on myself and don't let what other people think or whatever the people say kind of affect me. So that's kind of how I was raised. So Black History Month is definitely important to me because it just kind of reflects on what our ancestors went through, what people of the past, people of skin, people of color went through. So it's very, very important to me to actually know the history. And yeah.
Who were some of the figures that you perhaps would have looked up to then when you were a young player, perhaps who have pioneered or helped drive the conversation forward when it comes to Black history?
I would say, well, not really a figure, but my dad and also Jaylen Brown. My dad's a police officer. Well, he was a police officer for almost 30 years. So he's dealt with a lot of different things, I would say, especially because when you look at the issues with policing, it's almost usually like a white officer doing something to a black person, and him being a black person, he always got looked at as like, I don't know, it was just kind of like reverse, and it was just weird for him. So, yeah, no, he's definitely somebody who I looked up to because of the stories that he used to tell me and the stories that used to come home, like this used to happen to me, this happened to me. It's crazy to just see that how he just rubbed it off, honestly, and just kept his head high and just moved on to the next day. So that was definitely one of the biggest figures. And then I would say like Jaylen Brown. Back in like 2020, Jaylen Brown was big. Like he was doing protests, he was going out helping people, and he was one of my favorite players at the time. He still is, but you know, LeBron kind of took that. But yeah, he's definitely still one of my favorite players. But like when I used to follow him on Instagram, seeing all the things that he's doing, like going to protests, leading different type of movements, it was real inspiring for me.
Mm. And you mentioned policing, and that obviously in the States was hugely prevalent with the George Floyd stuff that was going on out there. And we were speaking off air about this actually, and I don't think I was telling you about the Colston statue in Bristol and how that was a key figure in the Black Lives Matter protests here in the UK, and the fact that they brought down the statue and obviously the history of slave trading in Bristol and throwing it in the harbour, and you were surprised to see that. But it's something that in the States perhaps people experience it differently perhaps to over here, but it is something that is prevalent across the whole world, and the whole world came together during those protests to make a stand there. But you had no idea about that in Bristol, right?
Yeah, no, that was when you showed me off air. That was literally the first time that I've ever heard about that, which is insane to see. Like the limits that people will go to get their point across, especially when it comes to things like that. Like that was insane to see. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, basketball in particular has a big prevalence with Black history. I mean, like the majority of our athletes are of colour for the Flyers, and you as a role model. Again, this week, for example, you're going into schools. You're doing the holiday camps tomorrow, actually, aren't you? You're going in to inspire some of the next generation of players. How important is that for you to inspire the next generation now to come through of Flyers basketball players?
It's very important. Things won't always go your way. You just got to keep your head down, keep moving forward. Don't listen to anything negative that people have to say about you. And yeah, that's kind of what I want to tell these kids tomorrow, honestly. Just have fun in life, do what you feel is necessary, and don't let anybody kind of like bring you down.
I love that. No, thanks for opening up on that. That's really important. I think it's important for us to hear from our athletes that this is a platform for you guys to share your stories and to talk about things like this. So, no, that's great. I really appreciate that. Sam, time for us to move on to our quickfire questions segment of the Flyers podcast. And Zach, if you're not familiar with the pod, we have a section where we get all our players on. We get them to answer as many questions as they possibly can in 30 seconds. I think the score to beat, producer Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, is 10 or 8?
9.
Well
done, Joel. Perfect.
We got it like 8 goals on the way through, but it's got an halfway there. Sam, are you ready to go? Right, Zach, it is our quickfire questions segment. You've got 30 seconds to answer as many questions as you can, as quick as possible. Your time starts now. What's your favourite pre-game meal?
Pasta.
If you weren't playing basketball, what job would you be doing?
Video game or streaming.
What's the one thing from home you really miss?
My family.
Who's the toughest player you've ever had to guard?
Ronaldo Seguin.
If you could have dinner with any celebrity, who would it be?
LeBron James.
What's your hidden talent?
Drawing.
What's your favourite TV show to binge?
Blacklist.
What's one bucket list item for this season?
Win a championship.
Producer Dan, you got a number on that one?
I do indeed. 8.
Oh, you're unsure. Ronaldo Segu, by the way, incredible player.
Oh my
we played
gosh.
against him last season.
For real?
He played in the ENBL for Bamberg.
Wow, I
and we had
didn't know
Bamberg
that.
came to Bristol last season.
Wow.
Great point guard.
Yeah, no, insane. I played him at OCP, and then also like we're both from almost the same city, Orlando. So I used to run into him with a lot of runs and just a lot of just pro-ams and different stuff.
Crazy. It's
Crazy
mad how
person to
basketball world is such a small world, isn't it?
it
Where
is.
everyone
It's
knows
crazy.
someone or
Yeah,
you've known.
yeah.
So that story. I had no idea that Zach would have come up against Ronaldo Segu.
Yeah.
Unreal.
That's crazy. Right, time for us to get to the news.
This is the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Time for us to talk about all the latest news and happenings that have happened since our last podcast episode. And Sam, 2 games have taken place since our last show. 1 win, 1 loss. We've got to talk about it. We've been building up to this the whole way through. Big win out in Croatia last week. Alcacinge, what a experience that would have been for you guys. I've heard so many stories about this trip from some of the players, some of the staff that have been out there. Obviously, fans would have seen the atmosphere that was created out in Sinj. Talk to us about it. What was the trip like?
It was crazy. As soon as we get off the plane, we walk outside. It looks like paradise. Like you see the waters, you see the mountains, you see trees. It looks great. And then you see police escorts. You have police walking you to the bus, literally standing behind with guns, like looking behind, making sure nobody's walking up on us. And it's like, all right, whoa, where are we at? And then like as you get to driving, it's just like the area that we stayed in, I wouldn't say was the greatest. So it was honestly insane. Like there was not a bomb, but it sounded like a firework that went off every 30 minutes. It was just loud
Overnight.
throughout the whole day. Like it would be 7 o'clock and you would hear it 4 times, and it would be 10 o'clock and you'll hear it 3 times, and it'll be 4 in the morning and you'll hear a siren, like you'll hear a loud bell just going dong.
So these fans were messing with you.
I guess that's what it was.
Yeah, so basically the fans were outside. So first of all, they had a police escort wherever they went. So if you go into the supermarket,
To leave the hotel, we had a police escort.
anytime you wanted to leave the hotel, police escort taking you there. The fans knew where the team was staying at the hotel, setting fireworks off every hour throughout the night to try and keep them awake night before game day. You see it in like Champions League football, right, Dan? Like that's a very thing that happens in Champions League football. In basketball,
absolutely.
not so much.
No, not at all.
It was honestly a wild experience. Even after we won the game, the game was over that night. They were setting off bells and fireworks at 3 a.m. and I'm like, the game's over, bro.
Well, it's good to see they were out celebrating the Flyers win. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, I get it, right? I get it if it's like a rival or someone who, the team's had something with before. You have no issue with this team. You've never even heard of them before.
Well, the thing
probably.
was, I heard like they don't celebrate that many sports over there, and basketball is really all they know. So it's just like when you have a sport that everybody there is predicated to, like honestly, they went crazy for them, and that's crazy. I can't imagine having that level of support every single game.
Alcacinge, basically, a bit of background info, that they're rich in history. They've been around since like the 50s, and this was their very first ever European game.
Yeah.
So they've been playing in Croatia for years and years and years, and then now this is the very first time they were stepping into the European stage. So they wanted to, the fans, and we spoke about it in the build-up, the fans are the very passionate fans because it's all they have, it's basketball, and that's it. Very small town, 600 people in the building, complete sellout. They were doing things like a tifo pre-game with the flag up above the stands, right, Dan?
Yeah, I think we're forgetting one thing. We're British. Could it be that as well? Brits abroad. We've got a bad reputation, folks. It could be that as well.
Yeah, maybe. But do you also think, I don't know, in a weird way, I was watching it and I was like, is it okay? I don't know. Was it like the weirdest experience you've had? Was it the craziest like atmosphere? I don't know.
It was one of the craziest experiences. I had a chance to play at Indiana, and Indiana it was a home opener too, and it was actually insane. Like started the third quarter, they had went on like a 5-0 run, and I couldn't hear myself thinking there. And the crazy part about it is there were 600 people in the gym that we just played in, and it felt like Indiana. So it was honestly why I had people shooting me the bird. I had people just screaming. I'm not going to say what they were screaming, but they were trying to speak English, and they were just saying insane stuff to me and Cam when we were walking out from a free throw. Like it was honestly the wild experience.
I hear they were throwing coins as well.
Okay, I didn't get hit by any coins, or I didn't get coins thrown at me, but I wouldn't put it past them, honestly.
Wow. That was absolutely mad. And for it to be such a small atmosphere, I mean, like, you're playing in Indiana, it'd be thousands and thousands of fans, right?
And it felt like I was in Indiana.
Yeah, but this is like 600 fans, and they're just constantly chanting the whole way through, drumming, you name it. I mean, you could sort of hear it through the broadcast a little bit, but I don't think you could really experience it unless you were properly there. But it was mad, wasn't it?
Did you see the guy who was wearing a black vest and he was wearing a bum bag or a fanny pack, as you call it in America, who was just out the front? Did you see that guy? He was
definitely.
Wild.
Seen the dude with no shirt, splitting the rails in 2 hands. It was actually insane.
But you guys, I mean, you probably talked about it in the locker room pre-game, but you really took that energy that those fans brought and turned it into our own energy on the court. And from the get-go, we took that early lead and we sort of held it throughout the rest of the way. They took the lead at half-time very briefly, but in that third quarter, we really broke the game open. And just talk us through like how you guys were able to use that energy that they were showing against us and turn it into something positive.
We kind of knew that the environment was going to be crazy. Coach had told us before, so going into the game, we were kind of just hoping that we can keep them quiet, and that did not work at all. But we just kind of used their energy against them. We had moments and we had chances to break their hearts, like off an offensive rebound, kick out 3. Like, we wanted to capitalize on every single situation like that. So, yeah, we kind of just used the crowd energy against them, and unfortunately it worked out for us.
What was it like playing in front of that atmosphere? Because obviously, I mean, imagine like, you know, when you say to your friends back home, I'm going to go play basketball in Europe. Yeah. And you see all those videos online of like European basketball fans, like perhaps in EuroLeague or like, you know, in Euro Cup, and they have thousands of fans there. But then to see like a small town like Sinj in Croatia have like a similar kind of atmosphere, you see it all the time online, but actually to experience that in person must be completely different from what you're expecting.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. When they went on runs, you would hear about it. Like, you could hear, like, their chants was insane. To start the game, they chanted until they scored. Like, even when the game was over, it was like 1 second left and they were shooting a free throw down like 5. They're still in the back chanting, going crazy. I'm like, yo, the game's over and you guys don't care. Like, no, their energy was insane. Like, it was almost something that I've never been around besides Indiana and maybe like Duke, but the fact that I'm comparing 600 people to those types of arenas is insane.
They hit a massive alley-oop early on in the game, didn't they? I bet it went crazy.
It went insane in there. It went insane in there.
It was nice as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was nice. They had some good players, honestly. They were missing their starting point guard, which is American.
Yeah.
But honestly, they played really, really well. Like, they played well together. It looks like they've been with each other for about like 10 years, the way that they played. Like,
well, I was going to ask you about that because obviously Cisse, in the first game in the ENBL, was their MVP, Jonathan Cisse. He didn't play in this game. How much does that sort of like not put you off, but basically like the scouting report comes through, he's top of the scouting report, then you see on the day he's not playing, or perhaps you get an advance, heads up in advance, he's not going to play, but then your scouting report changes and he goes off the list and someone else goes to the top. How does that affect you in preparation for a game like that?
It definitely changes because going into the week, when coach first gives you the scouting report like 3 or 4 days early, he's at the top of the scouts. So like when we go through practices, we're going through actions that he's involved in. So it's just like he had the ball in his hands. If the shot clock's 24 seconds, he had the ball in his hands at least 16, 17 seconds of the shot clock. So it's like when you're predating your defense so much to one guy and then all of a sudden he's not playing, it definitely like throws you off and shifts you a little bit. And I feel like honestly they played better. Like everybody was touching the ball, everybody was getting shots, and I just feel like they had so much more life and energy because they weren't just sitting in the corner watching one dude just come off a bunch of ball screens and score. He's a great player, fantastic player, and he was the MVP of the first game for a reason. But it changes your whole vibe of a team. Like, now I know that I can go out here and play freely, play confident, play with my brothers, actually be able to share the ball. Everybody's getting touches. It just makes you play harder. And with that crowd behind them, they were a force to be reckoned with. But thankfully, we were able to stay composed and, go down there and get that dub.
Yeah, a few plays to talk about in this game. Back end of the first quarter, JB hits a couple of back-to-back threes, one off the glass.
Yeah. He meant that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. He called glass when it was in there.
Start of the second quarter, he goes hits a 4-point play. Yeah. Just like that, it's like quick 9 points on the board across that first quarter. He was playing great that game, right?
Yeah. No, he helped us a lot, especially like coming off the bench. The first time that he came off the bench, we had no momentum on offense, and he kind of hit those 2 back-to-back threes, and it kind of got us going so we could see the ball go through the net. He was kind of like the first guy to take the lid off the rim. So it helped us a lot. And then in the fourth quarter, third quarter, he made some big one-on-one plays, and yeah, he was tremendous that game.
Do you find that yourself as a shooter sometimes when you see other players getting hot from behind the 3-point line, that sort of like becomes contagious for yourself, and you know, for you to see the ball go through the rim like that? Because in the third quarter, you went off in the third quarter, particularly from behind the 3-point line. Is that helpful for you when other players are shooting like that?
Yeah, for sure. When you start off slow, as we did in that game, or like the last 2 games, we haven't been shooting the ball well in the first half. So when somebody finally gets the lid off the rim and sees one go in, like that kind of, it's a triple effect. Everybody starts to make shots. Everybody feels more confident. Like, all right, we finally made one. Now our next one is just, it's a normal shot. It's not, I have to break the ice. So it definitely helps when somebody gets off to a start like JB did. It makes everybody more confident, and yeah.
Some game for you, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 for 10 from the 3-point line. You kind of really seem to thrive off of that atmosphere when you're shooting.
Yeah, no, I love playing in environments like that. Not to toot my own horn, but even in Indiana, like when we played in that, I had like 21, like, and I shot like, I think I hit 6 threes that game too, or like 5 threes that game. So it's fun playing in those environments like that. I kind of feed off the crowd's energy. I wanted to talk, but I was like, nah. I was like, nah, we're getting police escorts everywhere. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. They know where we're staying. I'm all right. I won't talk to you.
Obviously, you've got the language barrier as well, so you probably wouldn't know what you said anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you had, what was it? I've got it here in my notes. Start of the third quarter, 12 of your 14 third quarter points from the 3-point line, 14 out of your 21 points in that third quarter alone. That was when Flyers really created separation. A couple of back-to-back dunks from Marcus Delpesh and JB to open the fourth quarter. JB's one was outrageous, just like split the defense straight down Main Street.
Yeah. Is that the one where I think Owen screened his defender right down at, like, off the inbound pass?
He basically is inbound right at our end of the court, and he just ran the whole length. The
thing I was watching this and I went, his defender's just been screened nice by Owen and caught up, and then the guy that picked him up, I was like, he can beat him no problem. And he just went bang, absolutely. He can jump, can't he?
Yeah, man, he has so much athleticism, and I'm not gonna lie, like every day in the weight room, you can tell why. Like he goes hard every single day. Like you can tell he's intent about everything he does. And there's a reason why he jumps out.
Oh, yeah. He's an absolute athlete.
Has he jammed on you in practice? Huh?
Okay, we're not going to let's stop that right there. No, we're not doing that.
That'd be a yes.
That's a big old yes.
I love it. Hey, these little stories that keep behind closed doors. Well, I mean, hopefully he vlogged the journey out there, because have you seen he's doing this vlog series for us now this season on YouTube?
We'll get off the plane and he's recording everything. No, but it's cool. It's dope, honestly. When would you go to that part of Croatia ever again? Like to be there just because of basketball, it's honestly a blessing. So the fact that he's recording everything, I see no wrong with it.
Well, look out for that on the Flyers YouTube channel, the JB's vlog of Croatia. I've still got to get this next episode out, actually, because the next episode is the trip to Austria, which I'm still behind on. So
come on, Joe, hurry up.
They will catch up. They will catch up throughout the season.
Hurry up, man.
Yeah, look out for those coming out on YouTube very, very soon. Quick rundown of the scorers. Zach over here, 21.7 rebounds, 6 for 10 from downtown. JB, 16 points off the bench, 8 assists, and Cam Holden, 14 points and 7 rebounds. That means the Flyers improved to 2-1 in Europe. The next game is, as you said, Centanics here at SGS College Arena. Get your tickets for that game right now. It's at the midway point, I think it's the 19th of November, 8 p.m. tip-off at SGS Wise Campus. Let's move on to Friday's game. Obviously, you guys flew back on Wednesday, sort of got back in early morning on Wednesday, 1 full day of practice, and then straight into that Cheshire game. Were you guys feeling it a little bit? I mean, I know it's a slow start to start that game. Were you sort of feeling it off the back of that of that game in Croatia?
Yeah, but honestly, that's not an excuse. We've played that many games in that time span before, so I wouldn't really say that. I mean, yeah, fatigue played an issue, played a factor. Obviously, guys were tired, a little banged up, but honestly, when you're going into that game, you're so ready for it, you're so prepared for it. There's honestly nothing that you could say besides that we just weren't ready. When you have slow starts like that, offensively and defensively, when you just have like mental lapses, because it was nothing that they were doing. It was just we were just shooting ourselves in the foot, honestly, like every other possession. We would have 2 good possessions, then we'll have 2 bad possessions. So it was just like you can't win like that. And I feel like we've learned from it, watched it, threw it behind us, put it behind us. And yeah, we've learned from it. So
their shot percentages in the first quarter were disgusting, though.
Yeah, but that's a part of us as well. When you're feeling comfortable out there and you feel like you can make any shot in the world, then that's on the defense for not making you feel uncomfortable. So as much as it was, they were making some tough ones. They felt comfortable shooting those. So.
It's
both ways.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird game, I felt, because they didn't arrive till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So they arrived late off the bus. They didn't actually get on the court until 10 past 7 to warm up. So again, and then from the get-go, it was very physical. Like there was a push in the back on like Cam Holden. Obviously, we've spoken about the backstory there with Cam formerly playing for Cheshire, but straight away you could feel that they were trying to dictate the physicality of the game, and obviously it paid off. Like it sort of threw us off on offense, and they went on that run, and we were just sort of playing catch up the rest of the way. And especially when a team scores 95 points on our home court, like you're never going to win games with a team scoring 95 on their home court.
And they reached all their averages. I think Coach said they make 13 threes a game. They made 13 threes a game. They shoot at 37%. They hit 37%. So it was just like they hit all their averages, and everything that they do well kind of did it. So it was just transition killed us as well. So it was just all the little things, all the things that they were good at, we allowed them to be good at it. So it's just it's one of those games where it happens. You just kind of move on from it. You learn from it, which we have. We watched film on it. We watched it as a team. So that's kind of things you just learn from. You just move on, get better.
5 flyers and double figures in this game. Joe Anderson had 17 points, 5 assists. Will Yoakum 16 and 5. Marcus Delpesh 11 off the bench, and Zach and Owen both with 10 points apiece. It means the Flyers faltered 4-2 in the regular season. Ahead of a big weekend this weekend. Newcastle Eagles away on Friday and Sheffield Sharks away on Sunday. You can watch both of those games on DAZN. The Newcastle game tips off at 7:30 p.m. On Friday, and I want to say it's a 4 p.m. tip-off in Sheffield. It is a 4 p.m. tip-off in Sheffield. So yeah, you watch those games both on DAZN. How are the teams shaping up for those ones? What's it like in practice this week?
It's been really, really competitive. Guys going at each other, guys talking to each other, and that's kind of what you need, especially coming off a loss like that. You need that chippiness and that edge. Everybody's ready to kind of just get back out there and show that those games are kind of flukes, and that's not the team that we are. That's not the brand of basketball that we play. So practice has been real intentional. We've been focusing on specific things such as like transition, and we've been really, really aggressive, really, really like intentional in what we do. So yeah, no, practice has been good leading up to these next couple games.
JB dunking on you. So,
JB's just dunking on everybody.
I got a couple more bits to get to before we get to our mailbag section, and some community news for you. Spaces are now available to join the Bristol Flyers community on Sunday, March 15th next year for a truly unique event as you zip line 140 metres across Ashton Gate Stadium, all while raising money for our Flyers community programme. You can hashtag glide the gates at the home of Bristol City and Bristol Bears for a once-in-a-lifetime experience, raising vital funds for the Flyers community's Project Takeoff programme, which helps young people from disadvantaged backgrounds get into the sport we love that they otherwise couldn't do. So it's a great cause. If you want to zip line across the gate and raise money for Flyers community, you can go to the Bristol Flyers website. You can sign up now. All participants are asked to raise a minimum of £150 in sponsorship after purchasing their slot. Spaces are limited, so book quickly to avoid missing out. Fancy it, Sam?
I've got a better idea. I want you to do it, and I get a paintball gun, and as your...
No, that's it. Just pop me on the way around on a zip line across Ashton Gate. So make sure you get your tickets right now. Check the website for all the details. And that's it for this week's news.
You're listening to the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Right, Zach, time for us to round out this week's episode of the podcast with our mailbag section. We ask fans to send in their questions for you as our studio guests. A bunch of questions come through. We've picked out a few here to finish off the pod. Keyvine3 on Instagram. How did you learn to shoot? Who's Keyvine3?
That's my brother, man. We played at went to the same high school. Kind of grew up with him. Went to the same middle school. Kind of known him my whole life. We had our best season in my high school, like in our history, together. So yeah, that's my dog. How did I learn to shoot? I would say it's you, man. Nah, my high school coach really, because I had a funky looking jump shot when I was in high school. And my high school coach kind of, he helped me with my form a little bit. And then when I got to my sophomore year of college, we had a transition in coaches. And his name was KG. We called him KG. He was really my shooting coach. Like every morning we would get in and work on different types of shots, like whether it's like quick shots, whether it's taking my time on wide open, whether it's I have to get it off because I have a contest coming. That was kind of the biggest things, and he really helped me like develop my jump shot. And ever since then, I've been shooting almost like 40% and up. So
can't believe you were taught by Kevin Garnett. That's crazy.
No, I wish.
No, but I love that about your jump shot because we talk about it all the time. You have that really quick release, and it's almost like a set shot for you at times where you don't actually jump, and it all the power comes from your legs, but you don't actually leave the floor. Yeah. But because it's such a quick release, you get it off in time before any defender comes to close you out, right?
I had bad knee problems, so I kind of like learned to adjust to not jump as much when I was shooting, like when I was younger. So it just kind of carried on with me throughout college and now through my pro career. I don't really use my legs much. I kind of use my arms, but it works for me. So
what was your funky looking shot?
I kind of like shot it like over my head, like
really?
I gotta find a video for you guys. It was crazy. it was insane.
Send one through and we'll try and link it on.
All right, I got you. Zach, Sam, you got the next question?
Yes. Ben Fuller 11 wants to know, what is your career high in points at any level in your life?
My career high was 29 in college. That was the highest I scored. It was against Queens. Yeah, it was a crazy game.
You've not been too far from that. You might break that this year.
Oh yeah, man. I might. You never know. And get hot, and a couple more threes go in Croatia, and I'll be there.
That's it. Hoops with Hannah on Instagram. Have you tried a proper Sunday roast yet? And if so, what's your verdict?
A Sunday roast? No, I've never.
Oh
man,
you guys sound like I'm missing out. Like, what's a Sunday roast?
Get this man a Sunday roast dinner.
Traditional British like Sunday lunchtime food, where you'd have like a big bit of maybe pork or beef or lamb or chicken, big bit of meat, and then you've got the potatoes, you've got the Yorkshire puddings. Don't worry about that. You'll love it. The
roast
stuffing, potatoes. What else we got?
Gravy,
pigs in blanket, all of it. It'll be probably like
sounds good.
It's unreal.
It's kind of like a Thanksgiving dinner, but a little bit different, where we don't have like the mac and cheese aspects or the pumpkin pie. Well, you can.
Well, we have cauliflower cheese, don't we?
Yeah, we do have cauliflower cheese. Get this man down to a roast dinner.
A proper one though, not a rubbish one. We'll tell you a good one. Okay.
Final question here we got from Instagram. What has been your proudest moment in basketball?
I would say honestly graduating. I don't know if that's technically like with basketball, but I'm the first person in my family to graduate. So it was kind of like a big deal for my family. They celebrated, and it was just to see the smile on my parents' face when it happened. So it was heartwarming, and honestly probably like the best that I felt throughout my basketball career. But if you want to speak specifically basketball, I'll probably say upsetting FAU. My junior year, they were ranked like number 5 in the country, and they were coming off that Sweet 16 run or something like that. So yeah, we had beat them on our home floor, and I had went bizarre. Like I had like 24 that game, 24 and 10. Yes. And I went crazy, and it was a great game. So yeah, that was probably the best moment of my basketball career.
What did you major in at college?
Integrated studies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, we'll have to create a new proudest moment for you and your family in basketball when they come down here and watch you play in the pros.
Absolutely. Soon. Yeah. Hopefully soon.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend in the 2 big games. A reminder, you can watch both of those games on DAZN, so go check it out. You can watch it for free. Yeah, great episode. That's it. That's a wrap, Sam. Great episode, right?
Man, I love hearing all the different guys' stories, the stuff that's going on. So yeah, I appreciate you coming in, man.
No, I appreciate y'all for having me. It's a great time.
Thank you so much. Quick reminder, by the way, if you're enjoying the Bristol Flyers podcast, to make sure you give us a rating and review by your usual podcast provider. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a comment right down here in the comments section. We'll read them out. We should read some out on the show.
Yeah, we said that and we haven't done it. We'll do it next time.
We should read some out on future shows. Yeah. Anything to add before we wrap up the show?
No, sir.
Great stuff. All right, well, that's it. That's a wrap from Joel, Sam, and producer Dan. We'll see you next time right here on the Bristol Flyers podcast.